What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. This is the Amc Gme and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you had a great day in the market today. The premium Discord, as always, knocked it out of the park. Congratulations. I hope you all took advantage of the downside red day again today. It seems to be happening quite a bit lately. I think we're, on 11 days in a row now. So anywho, I hope you took advantage and made some money off of that. I want to go over all the regulars that I go over here. My Snake Algo and Snake Algo method for Amc Gme and SPY, and the macro comparatives for Amc and SPY, and then we'll get out of here. So with that said, let's dig in. On your screen is Amc and my Snake Algo and Snake Algo method. And once again today, 100% spot on, dead on projection and fulfillment. I talked to y'all in the video last night about this. Potentially, I had it here. That's what it looked like going into yesterday. I talked about it potentially making one more run up and then fulfilling the downside, and that's exactly what happened this morning in pre-market after the CPI data was released. The market shot up. It shot that up that one time that I was talking about, and then the downside fulfilled. AMC finished today down 6.94%. It was down over 7% at its intraday low. And it ended the day now with, well, we're almost over here. We got 1 hour left about. We're up currently 0.63 in after hours at $17.53. But 100% fulfillment and continuation of fulfillment of the snakes in the chain linking that I talked about of them. Thank you all to the couple of you. I saw a couple on Twitter that threw something up about the accuracy, me and going over this and this deadly accuracy lately, as well as on the videos. I saw those come through. Thank you all very much. That's what I was talking about. Rallying behind me, this channel, my content, everything. It's greatly appreciated when I get that and when I see that from y'all. So thank you all very much. If I could remember who it was off the top of my head, I would give you a shout out here, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I had a lot going on today, taxes and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, thank you very, very, very much. Anyways, that's what it's looking like potentially going into tomorrow if it continues to fulfill in the manner that it has and continues to follow the path that is laid out for it from the snake. Again, I have no expectation as far as the length of fulfillment of this snake. I'm doing this chain linking where I'm just letting them fulfill as long as they will fulfill the projections, and then when it diverts or when I anticipate a diversion for whatever reason, then I go ahead and look for the indicator, the new snake head, I clip it, and that's what's been happening. So right now, as long as it continues, it's looking like consolidation going into tomorrow, and then continuation to downside potentially tomorrow afternoon, according to that. So that's what I'm looking at with the snake for AMC moving into tomorrow. Potential. Then the macro comparatives for MC. There were two of them that I was looking at. They're the same macro comparative, just in two different places and using it in two different ways. One is and this is, by the way, this is the macro comparative from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up, and it's the macro double-double prior to that January run-up. This is what I've called the extended version. I've been showing this since I started this channel back in December. And here's let me go to the 1 hour. Here's the 1 hour. Again, this matches up and aligns itself with the snake and has been with the last few snakes here for the last couple of weeks with all of this downside. They've been lining up together. And I looked at this. Now, I was looking at it here this afternoon. I think I want to go with the length of the move here. And I wanted to start looking at it like that because it started looking a little bit funky with it heading down heavy. And as you can see, when I had it move down just a little bit more, the bottom was not fulfilled over here. So I went and put the bottoms in, and I want to try that and see what that looks like going into tomorrow. And the reason being is this move right here, this movement right here that we saw between yesterday and today. looks to me like it replicated that right there. And then that aligns itself here and here. And then obviously I'd have to squeeze it a little bit, but then that gives us the length of the move on that as far as a replicating fulfillment. So that's what I'm looking at potentially with the placement of this and the fulfillment tomorrow, which would again align itself with the snake as the here, I'll pull it right side by side. As the snake showed, that consolidation, that sideways consolidation, and then potentially afternoon right here. Oh, right there, 1300. 1300. Downside, downside. So they're both aligned for that move right there if it were to continue to fulfill in that way. So that's what that macro comparative shows and potentially indicates for movement tomorrow. And then it's the same, and this one I think we kind of overshot now to the downside, the same exact macro comparative in a different placement. And it's essentially something like this. Now, it doesn't mean it's completely shot out yet. I'm going to give it a little bit more here, a little bit more time. It could just as easily, and I've talked about this and I've shown this, and if you've been with me any period of time, you've seen this happen where these look initially like, oh man, it's diverted too far, it's overshot, or it's hyperextended to the downside, or it overshot it to the upside, and it turns right back around and it runs right back with it. So I'm going to leave it there for the time being. If it were to get a heavy bull move to the upside tomorrow and start fulfilling this upside move, I'd never blink twice at it in hindsight or in real time. So no sense in my attempt to stay out in front of it to try to invalidate something when I think it just needs to stay for now. So however, that is what this one is indicating and would need to, in my opinion, do to continue to fulfill in this manner would be go heavy bull side tomorrow and get back in line with what this macro comparative projects. So that's AMC, GME, the snake, same thing. Fulfillment, there's the 1 hour. What's it indicating? Consolidation, potentially downside. Now this is and I may need to compress this if it does align itself back up with AMC. As I talked in last night's video briefly about them being nuanced, AMC and GME being nuanced from each other and different with their intraday movements. I put a tweet out today, said same snake, different path, right? So that it's the same snake theory and methodology that I'm using, but because they have these intraday nuanced moves different from each other, they're exaggerated when you're using them as a macro projection, as a macro comparator for a macro projection. So when you turn a micro snake into a macro, right, that these moves get exaggerated quite a bit. But that was the difference today, that GME was showing upside and AMC was showing downside. GME got that upside and then it continued here for a second run as AMC went down, and then it caught back up with it. However, it is replicating that, and this I think would give it an opportunity to get back in line and sync back up, the algos to sync back up as far as them not being nuanced and diverted from each other. If it were to compress this, and we'll have to see how that moves tomorrow, but the consolidation and then downside. This right now in the position that it's in does not indicate that downside until potentially Thursday. However, if it does happen tomorrow, pulling this in and compressing it is something that I'll be looking at if it does sync back up with AMC in that manner. But that is what the snake for GME is looking like and what I'm looking at going into tomorrow. And then there is SPY. And the SPY snake has been dead on as well. This is the same snake clip, all one right here for the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days now. 9 sessions we've gotten out of this one. Fulfilled today, again, 100%. The yellow is the snake. The indication moving into tomorrow's short-term, potential short-term move to the upside and then downside in the afternoon. Then there are 2 macro comparatives that I've been using for quite some time. It's the same macro comparative in 2 different positions. It's the macro comparative from the 09, correction and crash in 2 different positions. I called the blue one the long term, the red one the extended. it's obvious. It looks like we're following the extended still. We've been following and tracking this extended one for quite some time here on this channel. And I brought this one. I've been tracking the long-term one. Here, I'll show you the whole shot in case you're new here, for quite some time. And it does look like potentially we have initially diverted from the long-term to the downside and not the continuation to upside. However, just like last night's video, and it hasn't changed, this little bit of movement today has not changed that for me. Just like I was showing with the macro for AMC, the macro comparative for AMC. If this were to go heavy bull side, in hindsight, I would look at this and say, oh, okay, they diverted to the downside, they did a liquidity rake, and they ran it back to the upside. No big deal. So in real time, I'm going to think that way for the time being. I'm going to let it lay where it lies and see what happens. But with that being said, it's obvious that it looks like it's following the extended version macro comparative. What's the indication from that? It looks to be downside. Potentially one little move short term to the upside and then downside going into tomorrow is what I'm taking from that as well. That is everything I got for y'all in this video. I appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. Do y'all's thing. Like I said, I appreciate that if you would. And you know what I'm talking about, interacting, liking the video, all that good stuff. And quick reminder, I will be live here tomorrow morning on the YouTube channel starting at 9 a.m. from market open to market close. Also, I'm going to try, I don't know if I've accomplished it or not, I'm going to try to multi-stream on Twitch tomorrow as well. If you have not followed me on Twitch and or on Rumble yet, go follow me on both of those. I'm going to eventually try to multi-stream on all of those. I may try to experiment with that tomorrow for the first time and see if I got it set up. I tried today. We'll see if I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff, but we'll see if I got it or not. But yeah, if you haven't followed me there, go follow me. Obviously, if you have not followed me on Twitter, go do that as well. And but anyways, I'll be live here on the channel here at YouTube tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m. for market open. I hope to see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Later.